toasty.
I believe that the fires we're cast upon are the flames we shall become. I believe in a common calling where our temples pray as one. I believe in the word of wonder and a kingdom for the saved.
So we're back with Leo and myself, and now we've got Luke is back on the show. So
What's up, Luke?
What's up,
do
guys? Good to be back.
Quick update of Luke and what you've been up to. And your
Yeah,
plans.
so I've been gone. I think the last podcast we did was maybe in January, but I was out. I was taking care of my dad who was having some health issues, and then my mom passed away a couple years ago, and her home went back to my dad. So we've been remodeling it. He asked me if we wanted to sell it or what I wanted to do with it because it was the house that I was grew up in, and I said, you know what, it has sentimental value. You built this house. Let's just kind of, renovate it, and then we're going to rent it. So we're at the stage now where just got to clean up, take pictures, and get it rented out. So that's pretty much what I've been up to, is just living the slow life at the ranch and then taking care of my dad. But he actually was having a weird health issue. He was being overprescribed blood pressure medication, and he was falling down. We couldn't figure out what it was. And then finally they figured it out. They took him off of about 75% of his medication, and now he's back to normal, doing good. He's not great. He's 81, but he's doing way better than he was. He's not falling, at least.
Oh, so he was getting dizzy because it was too low, huh?
Yeah. Every time he'd get up, not every time, but he was falling. I was having to carry him to the bathroom, carry him back. I'd wake up in the middle of the night and just hear the crash in the house, and I'd go run and check on him. I am so thankful that he didn't break anything, break an arm or a leg or anything when that happened, because it could have been catastrophic if, at that age, if you do.
I had that too. When I was doing bike riding, my endurance was so good and my blood pressure was so low. If I got up from sitting, oftentimes I would be dizzy and see nothing for a few seconds. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, what happened to him was he was always heavy my whole life. He's 5'11". He's kind of overweight, 260, 250. And then as he's getting a little older, he's 81 now. As he's getting a little older, he's dropped weight. He's down below 200 pounds, and they had him on the dosage that he needed when he had that high blood pressure. And now, and they didn't modify it as he dropped that weight. He dropped a significant amount over about a year period, and they still had him at that. So it was just way too much. Yeah, it was just driving his blood pressure down too low.
Every doctor should know that.
Yeah, I mean, he's a veteran, and veterans are very good if you are the squeaky wheel and you talk to them and you tell them, hey, I need this. Hey, keep an eye on this. They're very good they're good doctors, but they just have such a massive caseload. They aren't keeping an eye on every single person, in the way that they probably should. But they've been good for him. He's had surgeries through them, and he has great health care. It's just, you got to be the squeaky wheel. You got to tell them, hey, this is what's wrong with me. I'm getting dizzy or whatever.
And how's your lifting?
So I was off cycle from. I think I quit in about October. I didn't get back on until maybe May. And when I got back on, my training and eating and everything, my weight's come back up. I'm sitting right about 250 fasted right now. Feeling good. Weight's going back up. Kind of update on the future plans. I'm planning through the rest of the year just to bodybuild in the off season real heavy. I'm hoping to be back in the 265 range around the end of the year, November, December. And then I'd like to just pick a show in the spring, do something like Pittsburgh or Detroit or one of those shows.
Nice. I want to do Detroit.
Yeah. I saw you competed. You're in the off season again now. Yeah.
Yeah.
How was your shows?
It was pretty cool because I got better at every show, and then I went out. I got second call out at the New York Pro.
Wow.
Which was kind of encouraging because I'm on the right track. Got really good feedback. They said, like, the judges, I got feedback, and they said my symmetry, my proportion, my presentation, my condition was all really good. I just needed more size, which I have, like, probably like 10 pounds I can put on. So yeah, and I got my weight cap now, which is now set, because so it is in classic.
Oh,
You
they
height
have it set.
yeah, so you height in 3 times.
Uh-huh.
They take your average height from those 3 times, and then that's the height you have forever, and then according to that you have your weight cap. So my height is 5'10" and a tad, a quarter or so. So it's 219. Yeah. It's really
Yeah,
good to know, man. Like, always like, fuck, am I tall enough? Am I tall enough?
yeah. I'm
Because I'm
right.
right at the, you know.
I'm right below that. I'm about. I mean, if I get real specific, I'm 5'9" and 5'8". So if I could get another 3/8, just that much, I could get to 219. I think I could make 219, but there's no way I could make 212. That's just
Yeah.
too damn far for me.
Why would you even want to?
Classic is hot, man. I got good structure, and classic is a hot division. I think that to put on the mass that I need to on my legs is, I mean, I'm gonna give it a shot, but like it's no easy thing. I think I almost fit in classic better if I could get down to that weight class, but it's just a little bit out of reach for me.
I don't know. You seem awfully big for classic.
Yeah, I mean, the structurally is why I'm not a mass monster like these guys. Like, if I get on stage, I'm going to be a 235, 240 if I'm lucky guy. So
You have to be peeled and pretty.
yeah,
So
I got
Yeah,
the
I don't
pretty.
know.
I'd have to get peeled, which I've been pretty peeled before, so I just haven't done it in a long time.
You don't see yourself. I've seen you pretty damn big before.
Yeah, when I'm 265, I'm pretty good size. Like I said, that's the plan. But I turned 40 this year, so things are just a little bit different than they were when I was 35.
Yeah, but you just came back to the gym and put on a whole bunch of. You just blew up in a few weeks.
Yeah, Larry always says that to me every time. He goes, what are you doing? Like, how do you do this? You just like come back for a month and you look like a different person 30 days later."
Yeah, he
So
just blows up. He walks in looking like kind of like not small, but
yeah,
not bodybuilder, and then all of a
yeah,
sudden it's like boom,
yeah.
the
just
memory,
inflates.
Muscle memory. Yeah,
yeah.
years of hard work. And then usually it's probably around food based, because when I throw in those high calorie days, the weight just comes back really quick.
Good,
Yeah,
man.
I used to
I'm
do that.
excited. I want to see you on stage.
I do too, man. I
Hopefully we can do some shows that we're both at. That'd be fun.
that, That'd be cool.
Yeah.
You know, you
Yeah,
say you're only going to be like 235, 240, but you got a small waist and you can pull a vacuum. So at that weight, you're big.
yeah. We'll see what my legs do this year. I think on the top, I'm right there. I could hang with some of the best guys, but I just got to get my quads a little bit bigger, my ham hang a little bit better.
So we have the same objective. I'll do the same.
Yeah.
Uh,
But I guess that's a good segue into what we wanted to talk about as one of today's
yeah.
topics.
Yeah. So there's the long-standing debate of high reps versus low reps, heavyweight versus lightweight, and I came across something. I want to pull it up and kind of go through it a little bit. You guys have seen it. Let's see.
You showing the Scott Mendelson video?
No, not yet. I will though. Can you guys see
Is it
that?
some influencer criticizing some big bodybuilder? No. Oh, better than high reps.
Okay, so
3 to 5.
This is an article that came. A guy posted and it's basically talking. It's guy's name Christian Theobald, and he's talking about low reps versus high reps. And he says, for context, when I say low reps, I mean 3 to 5 or 6 reps per set. Lower than that, 1 to 2 rep set wouldn't be as effective for muscle growth unless you're willing to do a ton of sets. And just to counter this first objection, I'll get low reps versus heavy work doesn't mean lifting maximal weights. It obviously has to be heavy, but as will be mentioned in the slides, it should be to failure or close to it. With low reps, heavy work, keep 2 reps in reserve or 3 in some cases is actually more effective than going to failure. Thus, keeping 2 reps in reserve, meaning you're actually not testing yourself, and the drawbacks of max effort work, of potential injury, driving yourself are present. Then the next set, he says,
ways to build
oh
strength.
no, that didn't take me to where I wanted to. There was another slide. I don't know how I get to
click
it.
on the
Maybe
thing
I
right
no,
there, right there
in the middle.
In the middle
There's
of
an
the.
Oh, I
in the
see
middle.
right here.
There you go.
Okay, there it is. Number 1, reduce central fatigue. Contrary to what most believe, low reps, heavier work causes less fatigue than higher rep stuff. The reason is that the main drivers of central fatigue are discomfort, e.g. the burn, pain, or the feeling of effort, e.g. when you go to failure or close to it and start to grind reps. By causing less central fatigue, lower rep work allows you to maintain higher level of efficiency from set to set. And then it says number 2, lesser need proximity to failure. When lifting heavy weights for lower reps, e.g. 3 to 5 reps with more than 80%, going to failure or close to it is not necessary whether you are training for strength or size. In fact, it can even be detrimental. But if you are lifting lighter weights, proximally to failure becomes a must, but it is also more draining and leads to more muscle damage, longer recovery. Number 3, with lower reps, heavy weight, 3 to 5 reps per set, you can get the same hypertrophy results as with more traditional bodybuilding work, 8 to 15 reps per set, but you will do it with less work, time, or energy. Personally, I don't like doing twice the work for the same salary. Number 4, you can do more sets.
To train.
Because it results in less central fatigue, because you don't need to go to failure, less peripheral muscle fatigue, less energy depletion, less metabolites accumulation. You can do more sets when training for lower reps. With higher reps, the drop-off is effective from each added set is much greater. And number 5, this is one of the most counterintuitive, and keep in mind that I'm comparing lower and higher reps on the same exercise. High reps versus low reps in squat. With lower reps, number 1, don't accumulate so much fatigue. In a smaller muscles involved, less form breakdown, more easily to maintain your focus. 3, don't need proximity to failure. And the last few reps close to failure are the worst technically. And then number 6, build more strength. While you can get similar muscle gain from low 3 to 5 or moderate 8 to 15 reps per set, the former will get you more strength gains due to greater improvement in neurological functions involved in force production, motor units, recruitment, MU firing rate, intermuscular coordination, inhibition mechanisms. So let's.
So is he basically saying that you can do I guess maybe say on the squat, you could do, say you're able to squat, I don't know, 600 for your max, but you end up doing, say, 500 for 5 reps instead of doing 405 for 10 reps. But you're not hitting failure on that, or not hitting. I guess I wouldn't ever hit failure anyways on a squat. I stop well within my ability to get back up. Is that what
So
he's
I'll
kind
tell
of?
you, I'll tell you where this is coming from, and probably most bodybuilding people that only done bodybuilding and never done powerlifting don't understand this style of training. But I did powerlifting with like Scott Mendelson, who's like top powerlifter in the world, and some other top powerlifters. So basically, the idea is you're lifting like 80% of your 1 rep max, and
Yeah.
you can. For me, I think strength gains. If you push sets of 3, you're going to get more strength. But for size, 5 to 6 reps, you get more muscle growth, and you're still going to get strength. Now, these are for mainly compound movements like squat, bench, deadlift, heavy barbell rows, things like this. We're not talking about side lateral raises or a bicep curl.
Fair.
But
Okay.
basically, when you're training with that workload, you don't necessarily go to failure because you want to do multiple sets. So in other words, let's say you want to do like 3 sets of an exercise that's going to be at 6 reps, and it's going to be with 80% of your max, which you could do that if you know how to lift.
Mm-hmm.
That is going to put a demand on the muscle, which is going to create strength and growth. But you're not trying to fry your central nervous system, and you're also not going to failure on each set, because if you did, you could only do 1 set like that and you'd be done. So
Yeah.
you're able to do like 3 sets in that. And
Okay.
it's the idea of that you're lifting heavier weight, so it's more dangerous, but actually it's kind of the opposite, because you're using 80% of your max, but all your reps are absolutely perfect. There is no cheating. There is no getting out of everything has to be perfect on every single rep. Like when I do a squat, every single rep from the first warm-up set to my heaviest set is exactly the same. And that's got to do with learning how to, lift properly, which, by the way, most people don't know how to lift properly. That's just proper biomechanics and lifting. And if you lift properly with proper biomechanics, even though you're lifting 80% of a max, you're most likely not going to hurt yourself. People get hurt is when they do ballistic training, where they're like, moving too fast. On contrary, what Olympic lifters do, like a snatch and clean and a jerk, they're doing force output, so they're lifting as fast as they can to get the weight over their head, using a lot of technique. And you better be really good at this, because otherwise you're going to break things, and probably a lot of them do break things. But on a powerlifting move,
one point, let me say something. One point that he makes is also, so the weight is heavy enough that you get a really good stimulus, also for muscle growth at like 5-6 reps. But as you stop 2 or 3 reps before failure, you can always perform every rep with the perfect execution. And usually when people get hurt is when they get into the zone where they struggle and where they go to failure or beyond. So even if you would do that with a lighter weight, you would, in his mind, for example, with squats, actually a good example, like when you do 15 reps to failure, you're more likely to injure yourself in the 15th rep because you struggle and your form might not be perfect than if you do 6 reps with a weight where you could do 8 or 9.
True. Yeah, you start having knee cave, you start bending over, you start using your, your back instead of your form on your legs. So I would agree with that.
Yeah.
So basically, again, every single rep is exactly perfect and with proper biomechanics. And if you move with proper alignment, even though the weight is, oh, I was going to say so on Olympic lifting, you're using ballistic movements. You're moving fast. With
Mhm.
powerlifting, it's completely the opposite. If you watch any champion powerlifters, it's a very, very slow negative and then an explosive eccentric.
Mhm.
So the negative is super slow under control, and the explosive is eccentric because you want to move fast out of the thing. You don't need to press up slow. You're
On
not gonna. Yeah,
powerlifters,
you're not gonna.
yeah.
You where you get hurt is on the way down, not coming back up. So
Uh,
you want to go down slow and controlled, and then explode out of the hole to get back to the top.
mhm. I
And
mean,
Scott Mendelson.
go ahead.
Okay, so Scott Mendelson, I just want to show this. He just posted this bench press, and let me.
I think most of these sheets were very accurate. Like I couldn't argue against it. Makes total sense. The
Yeah,
question is if that really leads to more hypertrophy. I can't tell. It sounds logical, but I have never tried it that way. It
I
makes
can
sense to me, but
I can say
yeah,
on my anecdotal, uh, I think I think 3 is a little too low. I
yeah, I would
still
say
think
that too.
I still think 5 is on the lower side of what I prefer. I like to do above 6, not probably up to 10. Between 6 and 10, I think is the sweet spot for me personally, where I've seen the best growth. And then like you said, it would depend on the lift. If I'm doing the hack squat, I don't care if I fail. I mean, I can go to the bottom, and there's really no issue of getting whatever because it just stops when I stop at the bottom. But if I'm free squatting, I'm not going to take a free squat to where I'm at that level just because of the safety
Okay,
factor.
well,
Yeah.
I trained for. I started as a bodybuilder, and I trained bodybuilding for the first 6 years of my training, and then I competed in powerlifting, and I I started bodybuilding when I was 14, and then at 20 I did my first powerlifting meet. And I had no idea what I was doing. Someone just said there's a powerlifting meet. I went in there and I did it, and I actually won because I just was strong from the bodybuilding training. But back then we did squat, bench, and deadlift in our bodybuilding training, so I just already knew how to do it.
Mhm.
But I didn't really know how to powerlift. And then about a year later, I started training with some powerlifters, and I learned some powerlifting, um, but not really. I didn't really. I had some idea, but it's just like what I read in magazines, and the people that I was training with, they weren't elite powerlifters, so they sort of knew what they were doing, but not really. And I was just strong from just training a lot and over a lot of years. But then um, I remember I was competing in bodybuilding, and I just won, I don't know, some competitions, and I did well. And then I was kind of like burnout on bodybuilding at the moment. I wanted an off season, so I decided I wanted to powerlift. So I looked up Scott Mendelson, and I called him up, and I told him I wanted to train with him. And it happens that he didn't live too far away from me. So I made an appointment, went down there. I ended up training with him for 10 years. And
Larry trained with all the legends.
I can I can say that the biggest I was at pure bodybuilding, and what I knew about powerlifting, I got up to like 230 pounds, and I was kind of stuck there for, it seemed like, from 25. No, I probably hit 230 pounds when I was like 20, maybe 21.
Mm-hmm.
And then I was stuck there till like all the way up till I was like late 30s. And then I went and trained with Scott. And then in the next like 5 years, I went up to 250. And I don't have any body fat. So that means I gained another 15 pounds of muscle. And my strength went up equally as well. Like my best squat prior to that was like, I think it was 705. And then I went up to 820. My best bench was 420. It went up to 555. My deadlift kind of sucks because I've got short arms and a long torso. So the most deadlift I ever did was 635. And I was pretty much able to do that from, I think I went from like 600 to 635. So my deadlift didn't increase that much. But my overall size training in a power, and I didn't train pure powerlifting. What I mean by that is, so though pure powerlifters, they don't do like side lateral raises. They don't do bicep curls. All they do is hammer curls, and that's it. Because they don't care about looking like a bodybuilder. They just care about squat, bench, and deadlift. But I always did my accessory work. So after we finished bench pressing, I'd go do my incline bench with either dumbbells or barbell and some flies, things like that.
Would you do the same rep schemes?
What's that?
Would you do the same rep scheme as you did on the flat bench, that 3 to 5, or would you do more volume on the accessory work and on the incline and stuff?
So, like our benches were straight for power, so we'd literally do sets of 3.
Mm-hmm.
We do 3 sets of 3, and then 2 sets of close grip for 5.
Okay.
So, and then I'd go to my like incline dumbbells, and those I worked like usually in the 6 to 8 rep range on those. More often than not, I would get, I think my best I got on the incline dumbbell press, I was using the 140s for 6 reps. And I know that's not like record breaker or anything, but for me,
that's a lot of weight.
for me, it was pretty good.
Yeah, you were always really strict in form. So.
Is that also with 2 reps in reserve, or is that to failure, or what are we talking?
So on the powerlifting moves, we were going to have to, you're going to do 3 sets of 3. So it's not really to failure because you have to do 3 sets of it. Yeah, but I would say 3, 2, 1 for me personally, I was like 1 rep away from failure on the 3 reps. Like I could probably do 1 more, but you didn't do 1 more because you had to do. Now, when I went to the accessory work, I usually did go to failure or close to failure. Yeah. Now I realize what he's saying is you don't have to go to failure to stimulate growth. And I believe that's true. If you're working in 80% of your max, you don't have to go to failure because you're lifting that much weight anyways. However, I think, depending on the person, I had trained for so long in these lifts, I could execute even to failure every single rep perfectly. I never do anything jerky or with momentum or throwing things or anything weird like that. And that's the main thing, is keeping absolute perfect form. If you look at my squat, it's every single rep is perfect. My back is in alignment. My shoulders are lined up over my hips. My hips are lined up over my knees. I never bend forward or backwards even a millimeter, no matter how heavy the weight gets. And I learned that because, like, I squatted 820 pounds. When you have 820 pounds on your back, you cannot break form.
Yeah.
If you break form, you're just fucked. And that you just have to be solid under that bar. Because if I lean forward a little bit or rock to one side or another, I'm going to break something for sure. So everything has to be perfect. your form has to be perfect. And that's something that you have to just learn over time.
Mhm.
And, anytime you do any kind of movement, whether it's throwing a baseball or writing with a pen or lifting a weight, you're developing those neurological connections to move in a certain way. That's why, like baseball players, they throw 1,000 baseballs every day or whatever they do. Same thing if you're boxing. You throw so many boxing punches in the same way, you get better and better and better at it over time. When you lift exactly perfectly, you're developing those neurological pathways. And this is not something in weeks. This is years. After years and years of doing it, you can execute that movement perfectly without even thinking about it because you've done it so many times.
A good analog to that would be posing. Like, you could pose and pose, and then once you really start to get experienced as a bodybuilder, you can hit those poses every time and be in the right position, but to learn to do that, you're like, everything's awkward the first time. You're not flexing, the first 100 times, you're not flexing your legs, you're not flexing your lats, you're not holding in your stomach. So that's a good analog to what you're saying.
Yeah. Well, anytime I take a new person in the gym and then you teach them, first thing I do is put them on a squat rack with an empty bar, and they're falling all over the place 99% of the time.
That's why newbies probably gain so much, because it's just a skill issue. They probably have no skill on how to connect to a muscle. I actually noticed that myself, kind of what you're saying, because I would say I'm an expert level on lifting, but if I don't lift for a month or 2 months like I just did, my first 2 weeks of workouts suck. Like, I don't feel like I have any mind muscle connection. I'm doing the stuff that I know feels right, looks right, but it doesn't feel right. And it doesn't feel right until those neural connections really get hooked up again. I'm sure. Did you notice that when you came back to training after doing your bicycle, Leo?
I don't think so, man.
Yeah. Maybe it's just a me thing. The first couple workouts, I always say that. I just feel like I have no proprioceptivity, I guess.
Maybe when the juice kicks in, it just feels better, and that's the mind muscle connection.
Yeah.
Well, it's also like if you don't even, unless you're lifting at a certain amount of intensity and a certain amount of weight, you don't really know.
Yeah.
Until you have that weight where you have to control the movement perfectly, you don't really know.
Yeah.
But when the weight is so heavy that you have to control it perfectly. Look, I remember I went to one powerlifting meet, was at Cal, and this was the highest. I had been training on the bench, with Mendelsohn for a while, but on this one lift, it was 555. And I remember, you have to take it down. You have to hold it and pause till they say press. So you have to come to a complete stop, not sinking into your chest, but holding it on your chest. And then they say press. And I remember when he said press, that thing just flew like it felt like an empty bar.
Mm-hmm.
That's just like, I was so connected.
Were you equipped or were you raw?
I was equipped, but still.
I think equipped probably helps a little bit with that. But I mean,
but I'm just saying,
you definitely use a lot of muscle for sure too.
That weight went up so freaking fast. It was just like, boom.
Yeah.
I almost surprised myself it went up so fast. I didn't even feel it.
Let's, Leo, give us your thoughts on maybe just how you train, what kind of training reps and stuff you saw your best progress at. Because Larry is saying he saw his best at the time when when he was training with Scott. But I think he might have been doing a little bit of a hybrid. Obviously, his strength was really shooting up, but he was doing a little bit of that volume work too on those accessory works. So I think maybe Larry's wasn't specifically just a power lift,
No, if I trained like a pure power lifter, which I did train with those guys, they looked like power lifters. And what I mean by that is they look like big square blocks.
Yeah.
Because they don't train really arms.
They're big, they just weren't aesthetic. But go ahead.
There's no roundness to them because they don't do lateral raises. They have big shoulders, huge shoulders, but they're just like big square kind of looking things.
Yeah. Makes sense.
I think I always like, I'm not someone who just puts on muscle like a Serge Nobret who looks at weights, or like a Paul Dillette. So I always felt like I have to train heavy, uh, and make some progress in strength. Otherwise, it's like pretty hard for me to gain muscle. But I also felt like, well, the very low reps, sometimes I did some just in order to get more tension than I had if I was stagnating or so. I'm like, okay, fuck it. I'll just do 3 reps today just because like I can't do 5 again
Would
for
this,
the
would this
fifth
be
time in a
on
row.
would this be on compounds, or would this compound lifts, or this on
Yeah, yeah,
like
yeah. So
what
so
kind of
yeah,
lifts?
like side laterals, I don't do 3 reps.
Yeah.
But I feel like maybe yeah, between yeah, like you say, probably between 6 to 10. But I go very close to failure even on squats. I dropped
Yeah.
the bar behind me before, but I kind of know when the next rep's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So
You
so
learn
the,
that.
the
You
if
learn
the
that
last one is like very very like
sketchy.
the pace goes down a lot, then I know. But I'm also very sensitive. So if I wouldn't have the form down squatting, I'd injure myself also with 300 pounds,
Hmm.
not 600. So you can see that as a blessing, because that way I had to learn, because a lot of people, they just jerk around and then one day it happens.
Yeah.
So I feel like, yeah, maybe 9 to failure is kind of my favorite rep count. It also depends heavily on, I think, um, how fast the person moves the weight. I think there should be like some time under tension. And some people, they're like
Moving it.
9 reps is like 5 seconds. So
Yeah. Well, you're
yeah, if
using a
you
lot of
yeah
your joint connective tissue to move that quick, 9 reps in
yeah
5 seconds. It's going to be a lot of rebound on your just on your
exactly.
connective tissue.
You know what Tom Platz is called that? What was that again? Something like the muscle reflex or something.
Oh yeah.
It's called the Golic tendon origin reflex thing, and
Yeah,
Mm.
but he called it differently, and he said that would be very beneficial. So you should always bounce out of your squat and everything.
Ooh.
And I was just like, oh my God, great advice, great advice.
That
well,
scares the hell out of me.
what
Um,
what they're talking about is like if you take a big rubber band, which is your
yeah.
tendon, and you stretch it, and then it snaps back fast, it's going to have more explosiveness.
Hmm.
Yeah, yeah,
I agree.
This
I
is
agree. I don't
this
like.
is true.
of course.
This is true, but you're also a more chance of breaking something.
Yeah, and
But
you use less muscle because you
Yeah.
use your rubber band instead of your muscle.
Yeah.
exactly. But if you go super slow on the
Eccentric.
with eccentric lowering phase of the weight, and then you come to like you don't have to necessarily pause, but come to a close to a pause, and then you explode upwards.
That's exactly
Now
how it is. Yeah,
you're not putting strain on your tendons on the way up.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
No, but what Tom Platz was advocating for bouncing, and he called that something like muscle reflex or something. He said that's very anabolic and that's great. And I was like, oh my
I
Jesus!
mean,
Hopefully, no one
his
applied
his
that.
his technology was from the 1980s, so maybe they thought it
Yeah.
was a little different
Well,
then.
no, keep in mind Tom Platz learned to train with Olympic lifters.
Mm.
That's why he
Mm.
squatted the way he
Yeah,
did.
yeah.
He
Yeah.
trained with Olympic lifters, and with Olympic lifting, the goal in Olympic lifting
Wait.
is to
Move
get the
weight. Yeah.
weight from point A to B in any means possible.
Yeah.
And there's a whole lot of technique involved in doing a snatch or a clean and jerk, throwing a weight like that over your head.
Oh, of
Mhm.
course.
In
I
powerlifting,
just yeah.
the goal is also to get the point from point A to B. But since you're lifting literally more weight because you're not snatching and clean and jerking, you're squatting or bench pressing or deadlifting, you cannot go so
Well,
fast like that. Well, you
you're
could,
not
but you're
allowed to.
risking more
The
energy.
referee would say no. Wouldn't the referee just say like, "Sorry, it's failed"?
Yeah.
No, if you hit depth on your squat, if you go all the way down, all the way up, it's a good lift.
Okay.
But
It's pretty dangerous.
when you have a super heavy weight on you, I don't see any champion powerlifters doing a fast descent. And you just don't see that. It's
No,
slow and controlled on the
for
negative.
for tempo, I like to do, a pretty slow tempo, over 2 seconds, probably on my negative, and then I just go up with whatever kind of a normal speed, maybe a 1.5, 2 second positive on my easy reps, and then I like Leo. I start to notice that what I'm shooting for is for the bar to slow down. That's when I know that I'm at like 2 reps to failure, 1 rep to failure, is when the bar speed can't go any. I'm pushing the same push, but the bar speed is slowing down. So that's when that's the point in the exercise that I try to reach, is just the bar speed can't move at the speed originally that I wanted it to. And then some things I'll go all the way to failure, and then some things I won't. But I do always try to get that bar speed to go slow. Say I'm doing like squats, whatever that number is, I go until when the bar speed starts to slow, then my muscles are getting fatigued that I'm trying to work. And then it's probably going to start going to a secondary muscle to get it up, to finish the rep. So that's what I'm like trying to get to, is where that muscle that I'm targeting is fatigued.
I think there's a little problem in the execution of the theory, because I think that in theory that's very great, but for me it would be very hard with that heavy weight to really stop at 2 reps out.
Mm-hmm.
I think I would rather stop too early or too late.
I don't try to stop 2 reps early. I mean, I try to stop when I think I'm at my last full rep where I'm not going to
It's
die.
not regarding
Why?
your training. It's regarding what they laid out with the 5 reps.
Oh, okay.
5 to 6.
Yeah,
So
no, yeah, I think you're right. I
that
think
would
on
be
theirs,
kind of tough.
they were saying to stop. I think what they're saying is you're lifting heavy enough that you're creating a stimulus, whether you just go halfway, even like not even 2 reps to close to failure. You're going, say you could do 7, but you're only stopping at 4 or 5. And I think that does have some validity, but I personally like to go closer to that 6th rep, 7th rep.
Yeah.
I want to play something. I'm just trying to figure out how to get out of this one thing here.
I'm going to grab some water. So while you're pulling that up, let me grab that.
I mean, I think if you can apply what the guy posted there really perfectly, then it will work pretty well. But I think it's just tough, especially when you don't know how strong you'll be. And, maybe you have a good day and then you could do more, or you have a bad day and you do too much. Because then you do the 4th rep and actually,
see,
that was
when
too
you're
close to
doing
failure,
this type of when you're doing this type of lifting, it's progressive overload, and you're not really having. You don't. I mean, yeah, everybody has good and bad days, but it's not like. Usually not. Usually, you're lifting. Once you've mastered that movement and that weight, you can do that again. I think people will have good and bad days when they're getting overtrained. It comes to a point where you're getting overtrained.
Yeah, yeah.
And why can I not move this tab off of here to the tab I want?
But it could also happen that you could do more reps and then, you should have increased the weight and you don't. But
let me see something here. How do I get this one screen off to the different tab?
Don't know what you mean.
Like this one's up. I don't want this one. I want a different tab.
Hit exit up in the right corner. Hit that X. There you go. Oh wait, did I?
You probably hit another X.
No, I hit. There's a thing to remove, but it's not removing from down below. It's still down below.
Looks like you're zoomed in on that slide that you were on that you were showing. Are you trying to go to a different Instagram post or YouTube or something?
A YouTube post.
I think you have to. I'm trying to think. Start a new.
I should be able to take this down.
Just try Control and T. See what happens. Or Command. Depends on what kind of computer you have.
He's on a.
Here we go. I got. Let me see.
While Larry's figuring that out, I think if you look at powerlifters that crossed over, like Ben Pollock and who else has been a good powerlifter was a champion powerlifter that crossed over. Larry Wheels kind of doesn't count. He's such a freak. But a lot of those guys, I think they have a more dense, kind of like Larry was saying, like a more maybe dense, blocky look. They don't really have that like voluminous bodybuilder look as much. And I think that maybe that's one thing that happens when you train with that powerlifter volume and then or bodybuilder volume. I think maybe your look is slightly different. I think that's like sarcoplasmic or something like that.
Yeah, but look at Hadi Choopan. You don't get that muscle density and that grainy, hard, dense muscle without heavy weight.
I agree, but I think Hadi. I don't love Hadi's training. I mean, it's working for him, but it looks very dangerous to me personally. I mean, maybe he just has tendons that were made of adamantium, so it's working for him. But
well, actually, I want to mention something on that. Leo said something to me about like the knee wraps could break. Those knee wraps are not going to break.
Those
knee wraps, not the kind. Look, I have powerlifting knee wraps. Those things are
I
so.
didn't look at them specifically. I'm just saying.
The knee wraps he's using are Inzer knee wraps, and those things do not break. Like
at any rate, I mean, if you look at his stuff, it's a little bit his training's a little bit
sloppy.
Sloppy. That's a perfect word for it. I mean, the way they're taking off plates, the way he's yanking like a row, he's got some body English in there, and I mean, we're in agreement. It's working for him. He looks very grainy. He looks very hard. But I mean, look at maybe someone else. I mean, take a different Mr. Olympia like Derek that is very precise. He's extremely strong. I mean, I've seen Derek fucking hack squat 9-10 plates. You know, he's extremely strong, but he has more control over the reps. So we were in agreement that you can't get muscle without getting strong, without going heavy.
Let me see. Okay, there we go. Now I can do this. Here, I want to show you guys something.
Oh my, this prison stuff, I can't hear it. Someone, time and attention is key. Heavy weight isn't needed to get big. Look at some of the guys in prison, Jack from calisthenics. Yeah, maybe they would be twice as big if they would lift differently. That doesn't mean nothing.
Okay, so check this out. This is 52 years old, 1,205 pounds.
This is Scott.
Now watch how slow the entity.
Unfortunately, it's not very smooth, that video.
Pretty good. Come on down. Come on. Come on. Come on, you got it. Come on, come on, good, come on. Okay, come on. Come on.
What What are you trying to say there? Is the do time under tension, Larry?
So that was 1,205 pounds. Just think about 1,205 pounds in your hands. And you have to control that weight. And he's 52. And he's been lifting over 1,000 pounds for at least 20 plus years. So and every single rep has to be exactly perfect. And see how slow he goes?
Yeah. He's been injured too, though.
He did get one pec injury. Yes, this is true. I'm not saying you can't get injured, but he's still doing it. He's still doing it. And one thing I noticed about Scott, and I 100% believe this is from the heavy lifting, his joints are just freaking massive. Like his hands are huge. His wrists. I went to a competition with him, and when he was getting ready to go lift, he gave me his Rolex to put on.
Slipped over your hand.
It was like a necklace hanging on my wrist. That's how freaking big his wrists are.
I think he's a bit. I've seen him in person. He's a big guy. I definitely think maybe lifting heavy, your body's going to have a response of growing muscle. Maybe remodeling your joint, your bones and connective tissue to respond to that. I think he's going to be a gigantic person, anyways. But
well, I can tell you, like on myself, I have really thick ankles. And my knees, I think, are a little thicker than they were probably before, just from all the heavy squats. Like my whole lower body is just more dense. And when I did bench heavy, this is it's kind of crazy, but I remember the first time I started benching 500 for triples, my hands ached for like 3 weeks. The first 3 weeks we did that, my hands ached. And then after 3 weeks, I adapted to it, but my hands got so thick. My hands were like catcher's mitts from holding the weight, just holding it.
I've seen you train with some guys, when you were training with Adriel and you were putting him in heavy, pretty much heavy, like triples. You were having him, I think, box squat, 6 plates or 7 plates? I don't know. I always cringed. I always was scared that something injury could happen. Personally, I don't like using wraps, and I don't like using the slingshot like Scott was using. I think that if you're doing that stuff, maybe it's good for powerlifting, but I don't see any validity in bodybuilding. And then even on wraps, I think they're a little bit old school. I like sleeves, but I don't like something so tight that you're able to, without it, you're 100 pounds weaker without it. I don't really support something like that, because I think you're just putting your joints under load that maybe,
you're not supposed to.
Yeah, you're not supposed to. I like sleeves because they give me a little bit of reassurance. But I think that it just maybe starts to run a risk. And I know, a lot of people have gotten away with not using them. Also, I don't really like wraps because they take so long. Like it takes you got to wrap them up, you got to get in there, you got to do the thing, and then you unwrap, and then it's like 10 minutes before you're ready to go again. With sleeves, you kind of just are like, whenever your time is up, it's ready to jump.
Well, I can tell you like this. Okay, my knees, if I squat heavy weight on a hack squat or a Roger squat or any kind of a squat with just sleeves, my knees are going to be killing me for days. when I put those wraps on, I can go balls out heavy and I don't feel anything in my knees during the set or after the set. Nothing.
Yeah, I mean, I think that is maybe anecdotal because I don't feel anything with just sleeves.
Well, your knees are not like mine. My knees are like 40 years of beating. I have
Yeah.
no cruciate tendons, and there's like everything. I don't even know what holds them together.
Well, yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
for Larry, it's a tendon replacement, basically.
It
yeah,
literally
Yeah.
if I when I do a warm up set with the sleeves with just like one plate on the hack squat, I
yeah.
feel my knees.
Hmm.
I mean it's just
I mean, I know
even
what you're saying. Like, if I,
I feel my knees, but when I put those wraps on, no matter
yeah,
how heavy I go, I don't feel anything in my knees, nothing.
I
And
get
when
the
I take
same
them off,
thing.
my knees are fine.
I get the same thing on sleeves. Like, if I don't have my sleeves, I feel a little naked. I feel like a little like, all right, my tendons are feeling naked. But then when I put them on, but I think you're just maybe a level above that because you've been training with wraps for so long. Larry
And by
likes
the
to
way,
stack them. He does sleeves and then wraps over his sleeves.
yeah, I do that because I just don't want to take the sleeves off.
Yeah,
But I use a wrap roller, that little machine I got,
that helps
so
for sure.
I can wrap up my knees in 1-2 minutes,
Yeah, I
pretty
did.
quick.
I just don't like that extra time that it takes to unwrap. And then like if you're wrapping correctly, like it's actually pretty painful. It hurts. Your knees like hurt actually. Your skin hurts on your knees.
Yeah,
I mean,
you know what?
I
I
don't
can
think.
honestly I can tell you this: when I train legs, I'm using a compression, not a squat suit, but a singlet, which is a compression singlet for
Yeah,
more
or
support
shorts.
on my
I've seen you use
hips.
compression shorts before.
Yeah, compression shorts. I'm using sleeves and I'm using knee wraps and I'm using ankle supports because I had a stress fracture in my ankle from years ago from a super heavy leg press. So I have
Yeah.
ankle things on, and I can tell you, swear to God, this is so fucking uncomfortable. Putting it on is a pain in the ass. It's fucking uncomfortable being in it. It's so uncomfortable. I can tell you this. In a leg workout, we usually do some sort of a squat, whether it's going to be a hack squat, a pendulum squat, or a Roger squat. And then it's usually onto a leg press. And then we go to the standing leg curl supersetted with the abductors. Lately, every time I get to the standing leg curl after I do, no, it's usually after we do belt squats because belt squats really strain my hamstrings. I try to do a standing leg curl and my hamstrings start cramping so bad. I like they're literally cramping standing there. I have to take all that shit off because it's
Hmm.
like, and then I don't cramp because it's it's so uncomfortable by that time
Cutting off. Do you
that
think it's
it's,
cutting off like blood supply?
yeah, it is.
Yeah.
And it's
So
so
that's
uncomfortable.
what I'm saying. Why I don't. I prefer not to use
Yeah, but
a
if
wrap.
I don't put that shit on, there's no way I can train at that intensity without tearing myself apart. There's just no
Yeah,
way.
well, I mean, I guess I'm just talking for maybe younger guys or more general. Uh, like, say I have a client and they ask me, "Hey, should I use wraps or sleeves?" I prefer sleeves just because I think it's a faster pace of workout and like I said, I think I don't like necessarily wrapping as tight as what you would for to correctly wrap for sleeves or for
I,
wraps.
I'm rather like use nothing and figure out why your knees hurt and fix that. And if that's
Well,
really
look,
fixed, then you can use
becomes
something.
a
But you
Yeah,
know what I
there
mean?
becomes a point where the muscles get
probably
stronger than the
best.
tendons and ligaments.
Yeah. When if I find a guy that lifts so much, okay. But usually that's rarely the case that someone's that strong.
I
You know what I
think
mean?
that I think that I use sleeves as a security blanket just because I like to. I don't necessarily think that sleeves are adding an extreme amount of pressure or anything. I think that it just kind of the proprioceptivity feels nice, so it kind of feels like you're a little bit safer. But I don't think that they're adding any appreciable amount of weight to your squat or your hack squat or whatever.
Yeah, maybe a bit.
Well,
Like
I can say
maybe.
I don't wear the wraps for trying to lift more, especially when I'm doing reps on an exercise. That's not the goal. The goal is to get out of there and not tear my knees apart.
Yeah, that's always the goal.
And
I mean, I don't use a belt either. I think belts are kind of not useful for bodybuilding personally.
Yeah, I hate belts.
Yeah.
And
I think belts are
I have a heavy 13 millimeter lever belt, and
Yeah.
I'm not doing any kind of squat without that thing. Because even on the Roger squat, I got that SI joint thing going on, but when I put that lever belt and I latch it shut, I feel nothing in my back, nothing.
But
And I'm not. It keeps me in such a tight position. I'm not breaking form. No matter how hard I go, I'm not going to break form because it's keeping
but
me in a tight.
we're going back to what we're talking about. You're not really in a growing age of your life right now. Now you're kind of in like a maybe maintaining. I don't think your numbers are really going up significantly.
Okay,
Or your muscle
I'm
mass is
gonna
going up
I'm gonna
significantly.
disagree with what you're saying, and I'm gonna explain to you what I mean by that.
Okay.
I'm in a stage of fighting to hold on to what I've got.
Mm-hmm.
Because trust me this, if I don't train for 2 weeks, I lose size and strength.
Yeah. Well, that's
If
what
I
that's
didn't
what.
train if I start training light, I guarantee you I'm going to lose what I got. Because at
No, I
this age,
don't.
my body does not want to hold on to this much muscle.
Yeah.
So if the minute I back off, I'm not necessarily in a growing phase, but I am trying to make little tiny bit of progress and not lose what I've got. Because the times that I do take time off for whatever reason I'm forced to,
Mm-hmm.
it takes a
Oh,
long time to get back to where I was.
yeah. But that's
It's not
that's
like you where a month later it's like boom, right back. It's
that's
like
what I'm saying is that you're just hanging on to the muscle and size you have, and I think that that's good. I mean, one, you just like to train heavy. If you were trying to train light, I don't think that you would be fulfilled with your training. But going back to what this podcast was about, we're kind of talking about like how other people that are in their growing phase, what's going to be the best and the fastest. So specifically what you're doing, you should maybe refer back to like what you were doing in your best days, not necessarily what you're trying to do right now, unless you're trying to talk to guys that are in the same
no,
direction.
but my training is the same as when I was trying to grow. It's just the end result is instead of getting bigger, I'm not losing my muscle.
Yeah, I mean, I think your training it might be a little different because I see you train. You train, you do like 3 sets. Your first set is typically in that, 5 to 6 range. Your second set's the same, and then your last set you add on your pyramid up and you add on some more weight, and then you do a drop set. You maybe do like 3 or 4 reps, drops, drop, drop, drop. You do usually like a triple or quad drop on a lot of
No,
your.
actually, that's not true. My first set is like 20 reps.
I wouldn't call that a set
I
personally.
know, but that's my first quote set. It's 20
Yeah,
reps. It's just 20 reps to plump blood in there and move things around so I
yeah.
don't tear something.
I wouldn't.
Then
I would call that a warm up.
that I know. I'm not saying a working set. I'm saying I do 20 reps.
Yeah,
And then
yeah.
I'll do a set of 15, then a set of 10, and
Uh-huh.
then I'll go to the drop set.
Yep.
I-
Oh,
I'm
okay. I didn't think you did that high of reps on your sets going up, like on say the Rogers squat or something like that, or like say
No,
a.
I do that on my leg extension, leg curls when I'm starting training to really just pump blood in my legs
Yeah.
and get them as warmed up
Okay.
as I
Well,
can before
what
I
I'm
go to
talking
the.
about is specifically on an exercise. Say you're doing like I've seen you do like the lat pull down or like the T-bar row or something like that. On that
Yeah,
specific exercise, when you're doing your working sets, you'll go up to say 6 plate or 3 plates per side, 6 plates, 4 plates per side. You'll do. You usually do like maybe 2 plates on your first set, 3 plates on your second set, and your last set is like 4 plates, and then you do like a 2 or 3 reps drop 2 or 3 reps, drop 2 or 3 reps, and then on the last set, last drop, you do maybe 4 or 5 or whatever you can get.
Usually, actually, it's okay. So my first set is like 2 plates for a set of 10 or 12.
Okay.
Then the second set is 3 plates, and I usually get 6 to 8.
Mm-hmm.
Then the fourth set is a drop set, and I usually get 3 to 4 on
each drop.
The first 2 drops, and then my last one, I'm just like stretching and squeezing, and so I get like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
On the last one, because the weight's light enough. At that point, I've already done the heavy stuff, and now I'm just like stretching and squeezing the muscle as hard as I can. And and the weight's light enough. I could usually get like 5, 6, depending on the exercise. There's some days where like I'll go 4, 4, and 4, because by the time I've done the first 2 drops at 4, and I get to the third one, I'm like almost shot out.
Yeah.
But if I can, I'll do 5 or 6 to just try to squeeze a little bit out of it.
So, anecdotally, I can give you my like training history. Up until about 2017, I kind of just did I did what's it called? I did dog crap training. So that's kind of like, intermediate, middle volume. You do like a triple drop, or you do like rest pause sets. And then around that time, I probably got up to about 240, 245. And then around 2017, I did a John Meadows program, which is a lot higher volume. He's having you do 3 and 4 sets of 10s and 12s. And I stacked on a lot of weight that year. I probably got up to the right below 260, 255 weight, probably like in the morning, 255, 256. And then, I kind of took a lot of stuff I kind of take the best stuff that I see from each program. And then I kind of carry that forward. But like you were saying, I really made a big jump in my career doing the high volume stuff that the John Meadows program had written. So I think maybe in a way, when you made your biggest jump, it was probably because you started having the experience to know how to regiment correctly and eat correctly and recover correctly and even lift correctly. Like you're saying, you have to have a decade of experience before you're like really making the muscle connections to do the lifts right. So I think maybe going back to what this guy was posting about, for an advanced lifter, I don't necessarily have anything wrong with the stuff he said, but I do think that it's a little bit, I just think it's just slightly on the lower volume side. I mean, I guess I've never specifically done that for all my compounds, but I did notice personally that I got a lot better volume, a lot better muscle look, and weight went up when I started doing I started sucking it up. And like in those early years, I would like work up my deadlift to maybe 405, 455, and I'd do like a double or a triple. And then I kind of reset and I started doing deadlifts, and I started going 495 for sets of 10. And I would do like two or 3 sets of 10. And I started building it up to where I got up into the 5 and 6 plates for those 2-3 sets of 10. And that's when I started, like, you see my back when I'm like really pushing. That's when I started really getting the mass. So I think that like those sets like took my CNS into fucking the red line. Like if you're deadlifting 585 for multiple sets of 10, like that's like when I started noticing that the density in my back was like, became my best body part. So that's just kind of my view on it. I think that there's, I think that it's maybe just not a universal thing. Like what worked for Dorian Yates is maybe that what this guy is kind of calling for. And then what worked for Phil Heath is like completely a different thing.
I think it's very interesting that your ability from your muscle to recover is not always congruent, probably never, with your central nervous system ability to recover. And so some people can just go balls to the walls and do those deadlifts, and they're fine, and they can do that much volume, and they might recover at the same rate. Other people, they might even recover fast enough because they're taking juice or whatever, but they won't gain strength because their central nervous system is not back.
Yeah.
Well, I
So
can.
it's always tough to
Well, that
find like the perfect amount in the perfect,
yeah.
way for
And I think
everyone.
that is specific to yourself and your genetics. Like one person might have a CNS that can activate and do it at a high volume and a low volume. I mean, I think that maybe that's and I think it's one of those things that you just build. Like I'm not going to go in, take a power lifter and say, hey, now you're deadlifting 15 rep sets. They probably would hit a
But
wall.
everybody will hit a point where your CNS gets fried if you overdo it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I agree.
I've trained a lot of power lifters, and I remember
But I think that if you take your CNS into that fatigue state, that it can like become a skill thing where you can learn to recover it faster at a higher amounts of volume.
No, for sure you can, but you can only push so hard for so long.
Yeah.
And
There's always a limit. Yeah.
there's
100%.
something so this is what I learned on myself. I started training with these powerlifter guys, and they were deadlifting heavy every week.
Mm-hmm.
So I was trying to do that too. And I realized after 3 or 4 weeks that not only was I not getting stronger, but I was actually getting weaker because my lower back could not keep up.
Yeah.
It was just getting demolished from heavy deadlifting every week, along with heavy squats.
When I'm trying to prioritize growing my legs, I do have to pull out the deadlifts, or maybe just do one set of deadlifts and then push the volume onto my leg day. So I absolutely agree with that.
So what I learned to do, I figured this out by necessity. On 1 week, I would deadlift heavy, and for legs, I would do hack squats and leg press.
Mm-hmm.
So I didn't have to use my lower back.
You had like an AB week?
On the following week, I would do heavy squats, but for back, I would do all sorts of rows and pull downs and my other back movements, but I didn't deadlift. Mm-hmm. So I only deadlifted every other week that I wasn't squatting, and I only squatted with a barbell every other week. And using that, I was able to continue to make progress because I wasn't overtraining, killing myself. When I tried to do it, I could train my legs every week and grow because the muscles can recover every week. But my joints and my lower back could not recover every week doing deadlifts and squats in the same week in, week out, constantly.
Yeah.
And
I do the same. Yeah. With my lower back, it's really, I'm
so I still do that to this day. I have one back workout, which is, well, I don't deadlift now, but I did. But I had one back workout where I deadlift and do heavy barbell rows. And then the other back workout was like machines, chest supported, Nautilus pullover, these sorts of things. And the only thing I did for my lower back is the reverse hypers, because that's more of a, kind of more of like a rehabilitation thing.
Well, that's where you're saying that's where machines really come in handy, because you can take the load off of back movements by doing chest supported, by doing, maybe even a hack squat or leg press, where you can take off that loading force on your spine.
I have two leg workouts. One leg workout is squats, whether it be like a Roger squat or a transformer bar squat, whatever kind of squat, and a leg press. And then the following workout, I do that pendulum squat, the hack squat, and the belt squat. So I'm totally keeping my lower back out of that second leg workout. But my legs are fried after both workouts, but it's a different kind of fried. Like I can feel there's a big difference in the feeling of soreness when I do the heavy squats and the leg press. I feel it in my hips, my knees, just everything aches after that leg workout. When I do the other leg workout, which is the pendulum squat, the hack squat, and the belt squat, my quads and hamstrings are like super sore, but I don't feel anything in my hips. I don't feel anything in my lower back and nothing in my knees.
Well,
Yeah.
sounds like the workout for you then.
Well, no, but I alternate that because I need the heavy squats and leg press. I just can't do it every single week. And I think that, people say injuries come from heavy weight. I think, people keep blaming Ronnie Coleman's training heavy on his injuries. And I don't believe that's true.
No, I don't
It
either.
was wrong.
No,
It was wrong training.
No, what happened to him was trying to do it twice a week. Your body just can't recover that fast.
Mm.
You just can't.
What I heard is that Ronnie trained heavy once a week, and the other workout was higher reps.
Fine.
This is true, but he's still just overtrained, and he just couldn't recover from that. And it's just
I've actually
wear and
never
tear.
seen a Ronnie Coleman training program. I don't know what he did.
We look at Ronnie Coleman leg press, and you know exactly why his spine is fucked.
You know what?
He rounds his back like crazy.
There's a shit ton of powerlifters out there that are bigger and stronger than he ever was, and they're not having the issues that he does.
Yeah.
But they also didn't try to train body parts twice a week and train 6 days a week.
Yeah, and they didn't round their spine when they did leg press.
That's probably true too, but I'm just
What did
saying.
he have? Did he just have like a bulging disc? Is that what his injury was?
I think it's all in most his upper spine.
Oh,
He had it all the time, and then I saw him back again after he had some surgery, like some screws put in, and then I see him on Instagram again doing those leg presses where he rounds his spine, now like way less load. But I'm like, dude, like you doing it again, and they pop out again. I think he had them replaced 9 or 10 times, back in and out, because he always went back on the leg press, and I'm like, oh my god.
If you know what works, it's hard not to do it.
He just loves
and
it.
no,
But
by the way, we're not talking shit about Ronnie Coleman.
Yeah,
We're
I'm not talking shit. He's the greatest.
We're talking shit about Ronnie. We're not talking shit about Ronnie Coleman. He was the greatest.
I was
ever.
under the impression that he just got injured. I mean, I don't think it was like people. I feel like people say like they want to point to his training and be like, "Oh, this is an accumulation injury." I think maybe he just caught an injury. Sometimes you catch an injury, and then I think he did surgery to try to correct it, and then they botched the surgery, and I think that's where he's in the position he's in now, just because of botched surgeries.
I can just tell you like this: if I trained the way I do, twice a week, 6 days a week, I would be like Ronnie Coleman right now.
Yeah.
I would have tore my body to pieces. There's no way I could do that. It'd be like backing my car up and drive into a brick wall and just keep doing that until it's a little ball of mush.
Also, he has so much muscle. He had so much muscle that could have protected him. And when he lost the muscle, then the injury actually, like, he felt it, and it was an issue.
Yeah.
So, and also, I'm not talking shit about Ronnie Coleman. I'm like, I just said what I saw.
Yeah.
Like, I'm sorry, man. If it's sun out.
Yeah,
and some god like, and Arnold Schwarzenegger says it's raining. I'm like, sorry, Arnold, the sun's shining.
You got to call it like
Arnold,
you see
but
it.
the sun's still shining. Like,
I
love Ronnie Coleman. Like, why do people take everything personally, even if I don't attack them? Like that, like it's always a personal attack. Whenever you like something is not, you have to be like, oh, Ronnie Coleman did everything right and forever. Like people, like I do stuff wrong. People say it all the time. I'm not like whining about it. Jesus Christ!
I can't wait.
It's so funny.
Anyways,
if someone
forget
won the Olympia,
about Ronnie Coleman.
But just in general, if someone won the Olympia, where someone has more success than you on stage, you can't say anything. And to some people in the comments, they're like, you can't say anything because he won a title that you didn't win. It's like, bro, Chris Aceto couldn't coach anyone. He didn't win anything. Like some teenage show, and then he stopped.
Hey,
so
Skippy,
he
you're
he
wrong.
can't tell
So
Rami what to eat now.
We're not hating on Ronnie
Olympians.
Coleman. We're not hating on Ronnie Coleman. It's not.
Yeah.
It's not that. We're just saying your body can only take so much abuse.
Yeah.
And
wait, is there a comment section I can't see?
Yeah. Look.
What the
fuck?
fuck?
Comments.
There's
Holy
on the
shit.
side. There's private chat, and then there's comments.
Okay, I didn't know people were talking shit. I didn't even know people
Yeah.
could hear us.
Skippy's on a fucking tirade. But we're not. Look, I'm a huge Ronnie Coleman fan. I think he was the greatest bodybuilder of all time. I'm just saying, your body can only take so much abuse over time.
Yeah.
You know,
Absolutely.
it takes time to recover. And think about it, just a accumulation of heavy lifting. It's not like, okay, I lifted, let's say I did heavy deadlifts twice a month, okay, versus doing them every single week. Well, now I'm doubling my deadlift volume. So I'm doubling the ability to recover from that. And if I can't recover from it, I'm just going to start breaking stuff.
Yeah, easy.
All right.
And we all don't know what is necessary for Ronnie to look like Ronnie, because we have no twin that did something else. But
no, I believe his training was completely effective, and it worked great for building muscle.
Oh,
and
of course it was effective. Look at him.
I know it obviously was effective, but I also think the amount of volume was just more than his structure could end up taking in the end.
Yeah,
right. Are we gonna do like how many people are watching right now?
I don't know, but there's people in it.
Okay. I literally I have this on full screen. I just could see you guys. Anyway, let's get back to our own conversation.
So, I mean, I think the moral of the story is, there's all kinds of factors that go into it. The amount of, you can lift heavy, but you can only lift heavy so often. And if you use perfect form, you're not going to get hurt. But also you can't do it. Like, there's no way I'm going to squat heavy and then come back 2 days later and do it again. There's fucking no way.
Yeah.
Your body just can't recover that fast.
Yeah, my low back just couldn't handle it. I mean, you can recruit CNS for other muscle groups. Like, I can go in and I can Viking press 7 plates the day after I squat, 500 for reps, but I'm not going to squat again on Saturday.
No, it takes a certain amount of time, and muscles recover faster than joints and ligaments.
Yeah.
And so you think about the strain you're putting on, not just the muscle might be recovered, but your joints and ligaments are not necessarily recovered in 3 or 4 days, especially if you trained at high intensity. I don't care with heavy weight or more reps, your joints and ligaments are just not recovered that fast. So if you constantly keep pounding your joints and ligaments, you're just going to do damage over time, eventually. Yeah. And again, this is not against Ronnie Coleman, but only Ronnie Coleman was able to train like Ronnie Coleman. No one else could duplicate that. No one else was able to duplicate training that intensely, that with that much volume. I think Jay Cutler tried to do it, and then he went back to once a week because he said it was just too much.
Yeah. Yeah, Jay could do the volume, but not the intensity with the volume. Yeah.
Yeah.
He tried to do it. He tried to do it, and he said it just was too much. He couldn't recover from it.
Yeah, Jay did a lot of like squats and deadlifts and stuff early in his career, and then he transitioned over to machines because he just decided they were way safer on his joints and on his body.
Well, I think once you have that foundation of size and strength from the heavy squats and deadlifts and rows and free weights, you could go to more machines because you've already built that.
Yeah.
But if you don't ever do that heavy, intense training,
I think it's good to have a base. You're right on some free stuff. I mean, I don't necessarily. I think that I don't really care about bench pressing. I don't really like flat benching. If anything, I'll use machines specifically only on that. But I definitely like to free squat. I like to deadlift. Barbell rows, I prefer chest supported stuff more.
I do sumo deadlifts because of Larry, and I do sumo squats now. If I want to, like, for some reason, I like my lower back just way better.
You're trying to build your adductors more, or
hamstrings. I do hamstrings before, and then I do that. And
Did
so I
you?
alternate there, and then I do quads after.
Speaking about hamstrings, I was just talking to my coach about this earlier today. I always never did stiff leg deadlifts because I just felt like when I went heavy enough, my body just wants to turn it into like I just stopped feeling it in my hamstrings. If I stay at like a plate or maybe two plates, I could feel it really good in my hamstrings. But as soon as I start to try to load, I just don't feel it in my hams. I just feel it in my back. But I recently used a hyperextension machine that's like way elevated, and it has a cable pin select, and it's like your hips are like locked in. So man, it was like a game changer on making my hamstrings fire up. So Larry doesn't have one. I think I might actually build a platform underneath our hyperextension to get it up about like 2 more feet so that I can like use a barbell and like get it. Cause like right now our thing is only like, it's like 18 inches off the ground. Hyperextensions are always so low. You can't really like, you could hold like a plate in your arms to do like whatever, but that's not enough load to really do it. So, but maybe I've also seen people doing like a squat rack where they'll put like a heavy band and then they'll like use that to kind of keep their hips stationary on that.
Yeah, there's good machines. I was in Minnesota, Minneapolis, in this Los Campeones gym, and they had a reverse hyper. Damn, that's like it's also really good for your ass. Like,
Well, no, the reverse hyper. Yeah, is that one? I don't know if I really feel hammies that much on that one. I mostly just feel back on
oh,
the reverse
if
hyper.
if you if you want to,
If you do
so
it,
you
there's a certain way
yeah
to do it. It works, so it
yeah
works really good. But
Okay,
yeah.
there's a certain technique you have to use on it.
okay. Maybe you have to show me because I never. I can only. I mean, I feel glutes. Like in my glutes and my lower
Yeah,
back.
you can't do it. Your legs have to be bent, and you have to curl your body up with your legs. So you're not bending your lower back really.
Okay.
Like you're
Well,
Yeah.
curling your whole body up with your hamstrings.
on a reverse hyper.
Yeah. No,
Okay.
no, not the reverse hyper. I'm sorry. I was talking about the GDL
Oh, GHD.
GHD thing. Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's something else. No, but the reverse hyper, you can definitely hit your hamstrings. Where I'm like another human being, but Jesus.
Oh no, I use a reverse hyper for like my lower back.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah,
Well, I always did too, but I saw this machine. It's one of those booty builder chick machines, but I'm telling you, this thing's a game changer for doing stiff leg deadlifts. Yeah,
You
there's a
can
video on
probably
there's a reel on my Instagram. I think it's like 2 posts ago where I'm doing it. It's like you can see your legs are just like locked in, and then it's like high, it's elevated, and then it has a cable like you can grab a cable like it's pin selected, and you can really get the range of motion way better.
yeah.
someone asked me if we did heavy squats with Mike Menser, and the answer is no. He didn't do heavy squats, and I didn't agree with it either. We did that. We did that
What would you
combo machine.
quantify? What is that?
We
What'd you
did
say,
that
Larry?
combo machine, the leg extension, leg press, Nautilus combo machine. You know what I'm talking about?
No, what is
There's
that?
an old Nautilus machine on the same machine. It has a leg press and a leg extension. And you superset.
Are they like back
It's
to
a,
back or something?
no. It's in the same machine. You're sitting in the same seat.
What the
Well,
fuck?
underneath is the leg press, I guess. Yeah.
No, the leg
The
press
leg
is in front
extension.
of you.
Yeah, and
The
the leg
leg
extension is
is in front
underneath.
of you
Yeah.
with a selectorized stack, and there's a leg extension with the same stack.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
huh.
you would
I
do the
never.
leg extension. You do the leg extension first, and then you go straight to the leg press, like as a
Cool.
superset, all in one
Interesting.
movement. There's a specific machine. It's hard to find, but they're out there. It's
Hmm.
the original Arthur Jones Nautilus leg extension leg press combo. So we did that thing, but I don't think that's as good as. I mean, I think it's a good machine, but I don't think it takes the place of squats. No.
Oh, that's what I was saying. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. But what would you quantify heavy squats? Is that just personalized, or is it just like over 405? You would consider heavy, or what would you what would be considered heavy squats?
You're asking me what I consider
Yeah,
heavy
I mean,
squats?
I don't know, maybe Leo too. Like, is there just like a number that you think is like heavy that you could sit?
Oh well,
Because
that depends on
it's
for the
something that you could
person.
only do for maybe 6 reps would be considered heavy squats?
Yeah.
Okay. So I guess that's just
Yeah.
personalized. But
Well, it depends on how strong you are.
yeah.
I mean, there was a time when I was squatting 800, 500 felt like a warm up set.
Damn, that's fucking wild, Larry.
But I mean, when you have 800 pounds on your back, 500 doesn't feel like nothing.
Yeah.
So it's all relative, and
Yeah,
somebody else
100%.
is struggling with 400.
People don't
So-
get that too. They're like, they see someone lift heavy weight, and then they say, "Oh, he trains heavy." And it's like, did you count the reps? He did 20 reps.
One.
No, like they did 20 reps with a lot of weight.
That's
And
a
then,
lot. That's a strong man.
Yeah, but then they say, "Oh, he trained heavy,"
But it's not heavy
and
for
then
him.
it's not heavy. That's not heavy training, bro. If
You know what?
20 reps,
Whenever I'm in the gym and I see someone, like any gym, and I see someone, squatting above 4 plates, above 5 plates, I always stop and I just am like, all right. Even though I can like do that much, I'm like, this is an anomaly. I'm at like
it is. Yeah.
I'm at a fucking fitness club and someone's going ass to grass with 5 plates. I just sit there. I just like stop and appreciate this because it's just like one in every fucking 8 million people or something that probably can do that.
Yeah, I always give compliments when I see that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But we got a guy in our gym, Benito, that he's got like a, I don't know, 750 squat, and he loads that thing up, and I just stop whenever he's doing it. I just watch
No,
him do
he's
it.
squatting like 900.
Oh, is he that? I thought he deadlifted 9. I thought he was a little bit lighter on his squat. Dude, the plates are just stacked. Larry had to buy the special Texas squat
Extension.
bar
Okay.
to get enough plates on this thing. he uses every one of those deep Avanco plates in the whole gym. It's just like
He needs like 50-kilo plates.
yeah, the hundreds. Yeah, Larry's got some. Larry's got six of the 100 pounders.
Yeah, we have 600-pound plates.
Yeah,
What's that? 44 kilos or something like that.
sounds.
Which I just fined somebody last night for leaving them on the leg press.
People keep leaving them on the Nautilus leg press.
The Nebula.
Yeah, sorry, the Nebula.
Yeah,
that thing is
I
badass.
I fined a guy last night. I caught him on the camera. He stacked
was
all
there
the
with-
600-pound plates on the leg press, and I screenshotted it, and I fined him.
I was there
I sent
with
an email out to him.
I was there with Jasmine the other day. We were training legs, and she was trying to load the 100. She was trying to load it, and she was like, "Oh, I can't do it." And I went over to her and I grabbed it with one hand and I put it on the Nebula. She goes, "What the fuck?"
How much did you fine him?
Just $25. This is a first-time warning.
Yeah, that's good.
If he keeps doing it, but I got pictures of him like doing it, loading it, all of it, and I sent him an email. At first, I tried to call him. I sent him a text message with pictures of him doing it, and I told him, "You have 1 hour to come down here and unload this, or I'm going to fine you."
Larry, what happened to the that little ab? What's it called? That little pad that's shaped like a little bit round. I looked for that thing for like an hour 2 days ago, and I got
it's in there.
I can't find it. I'm gonna start hiding it because I can never find. I can see it on the day I don't need it, and then like the day I do need it, I can't find it.
It's in there.
We need to start having a special spot for a couple different things where people put them backward, because like those pads, like we need to get a spot for all the pads and just put them back every time, because like shit always gets moved around.
I got 2 of those the whole leg extension pad things now.
Yeah. Oh, did you find the other one?
No, I bought a strap that came with it, and they sent me another one.
Oh, sick! Dude, where's it at? Did you have it in the office?
They're both in my office because I'm scared
Larry's
if I
afraid
out there, it's going to get stolen again.
Larry's afraid to pull it out because it got stolen last time. But no, I can't. Nobody can use it if it's stuck in the office.
Well, I'm going to put it somewhere and just tell certain people where it's at. But
just put it behind the front desk.
Yeah, I'll do that. But you
go.
got to make sure to put it back, because we left it out on the gym floor, and in 1 week it was gone.
That's so fucked. I mean, like, that's whatever. I mean, I don't want to say what I feel about that, but that sucks.
Yeah.
Okay. let's talk about Ramy real quick.
What about Ramy?
Ramy's coming back.
He's supposedly
Coming
making a
back.
comeback.
Get the what's that?
You want to pull up the slide
Get
of
the
him doing
Nolotol.
it?
Ronnie's coming back. Ramy's coming back.
Winter is coming. Winter is coming.
Was that on
Ramy
YouTube or
coming back.
Instagram?
What's that stuff called? The
Nick Strength and Power said it. Ramy said it himself.
What's that stuff called? That the site enhancement oil. What's it called?
Synthol?
No, the one that everyone's using with the hyaluronic acid in it. I got a bottle.
Oh, it's hyaluronic acid.
No, it's got a brand name. Let me go look.
Something with M, I think, right? M.
Yeah, Mediform.
Yeah, Metaform.
Winter is coming.
Yeah, Metaform.
Here's the post. I will be back.
Ramy's coming back. We got to get the Metaform out.
Here, his first post on his Instagram said, "I will be back." 3 days ago.
He's the same age as me. I think he's a little bit younger, actually.
Yeah, let me see if I can do it.
See if you can pull it up.
Here, see it?
I think so. I have to scroll.
You can't see it?
Yeah, it's down at the bottom. Oh.
I will be back. Is that a Terminator reference?
I think so, yeah.
Let me see. Here it is. I just pulled it up. You just closed it.
Yeah.
Oh, I pulled it up and you closed it.
It wasn't that. I thought it was on all the time. Luke, didn't you see it?
For about 2 seconds. I flashed it up there and then you shut it down. Yeah. Anyways, what do you think? Here, I'll pull it up right now.
I mean,
That's an old picture, though.
Yeah,
that's from their last Arnold Classic he did.
Yeah.
I mean, he looks good. I don't know
what that was. How long ago was that? Was that 2-3 years ago?
Yeah, but he's still looking big.
I don't know.
Is this video current? There's a video from June 26th, and then it's on Ramy's page. Is this old or is this newer? Further down.
This is 3 days ago.
Oh, okay. Which that one of him doing the most muscular.
That looks old. Look, he has like.
It says in the comment, with the 2025 Mr. Olympia loading, the buzz around the possible Big Ramy comeback. The question is simple: will we see Ramy back on stage this year or next year? Should Ramy return to battle?
Yeah, that's old.
Yeah, I think that is old video.
Yeah, but Ramy apparently collaborated on it.
Yeah.
I think he's gonna look good, man.
He's gonna look good.
That's him right now. Look, that's him right now.
I mean, maybe the time off, he's going to be fresh. Maybe he's going to be a little bit better.
I walked by that booth here. I walked by it. Maybe I even walked by this very second. Who knows? He has a Big Ramy Labs. Like, that's the worst name ever. Oh my god.
Big Ramy Labs.
It's so bad.
So if Ramy was able to come back in his best condition, which was probably like that second Olympia that he won, how do you think he would do against the current guys?
I don't think he would be.
Depends on all the conditioning.
Yeah, I think he would be out of the top 3.
Ramy at 100%. Does he beat Hottie?
I don't think he's going to be at 100%, though. I mean, he honestly, to me, Ramy looked better several years ago when he was fighting against Phil. In those years, I thought he looked better than he did when he won the Olympia. A pool just wasn't that deep in the 2020 when he won, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think, I mean, I think Hadi is not able to come. I don't know. I think
Hadi can't make it to the United States. I
maybe
think
maybe
because of we're having
politics
the
will
issue with.
change.
Yeah, I think maybe I was actually worried about that, but I was hoping maybe because he's a.
Yeah,
Uh,
he made a super stupid video saying I am Iran and Iran is me. That was
oh
very
shit!
helpful. That was very helpful. Super duper. It's a great
It
idea,
helped. It
idiot.
helped the cause. That's not
What an
a.
idiot. Sorry. Like, why did you just
I
shut
mean,
up?
remember when he couldn't make it in back 5 years ago, and maybe 2017, 2018, he couldn't. He kept prepping for the Olympias, and then just like Belarus is keeps qualifying. He hasn't been able to make it in yet.
Yeah.
He did that recently?
Who? Hadi?
Hadi.
I didn't see it.
Yeah, he
Leo, you
put out
said
a video saying I am Iran and Iran is me. Yeah, just like a week ago or so. Last week.
Oh,
well,
That
then
was
he's
definitely
probably
not
not
that
going to get
clever.
he's not going to get in.
Yeah. It's yeah.
I hope he
I don't know.
does.
Maybe politics will change until then. Maybe what can happen? Like maybe they come together, they have a peace agreement in August, and then they're like, okay, you good to go. Who knows?
No way.
That could happen. That could happen.
It I don't think so.
I think
Even
if
if
Trump
they
wants it, it will happen.
even if they have a ceasefire, that they're not going to come to a peace agreement because they just don't want peace.
Oh, I disagree. I
You
think they
think
want peace.
you think the Iranians want peace?
Yes.
Not the people, the regime.
Yeah, I think they want peace because they know they're going to be destroyed if they don't. I think
Yeah,
they
I
want
think
peace.
I think the people do, but I don't know about the regime. That your regime is like pretty
I
crazy
listened
over
to
there
the
right now.
I listened to the interview with the president. You never know because he doesn't actually decide, in the Ayatollahs decide. The president's not really the number one. It's kind of weird over there. But
oh,
but I believed him. It just makes sense. Like unless you want to die really bad, then yeah. But if you kind of like this world and not the next one, then it makes sense because I mean they have the whole Western world against them if they try. So I would think they want peace, and that's what they said officially. What they I don't know. That's just what they saying. Who knows what they're feeling?
I just like to
You know?
stick to bodybuilding.
Yeah.
will
Well,
will
in
he
this
will he make it
in
in? We will see.
yeah.
He's a he's
Well,
a he's a
yeah,
hardcore dude though. I guarantee he's gonna prep for it no matter what, whether he makes it or not.
yeah, yeah. Like every time when he like earlier, like Larry said, I remember one time he didn't get in, and
Two
he
times. Two
prepped
times he didn't get in.
2 times, and Berush 3 times.
Yeah. I would
But
like to
Berush,
see.
he always prepped for a show 1 or 2 weeks later.
Mm,
So
so he could
already,
do.
so yeah, it's probably the best idea. Like prep for a show that's after in Europe, so you don't have to do it for nothing. Dude, James, you idiot! Like some people might know something about something in two different topics. And I'm gonna say whatever I want anyways, and you can comment whatever you want. I'm even gonna say it more. So be
Yeah,
nicer if you want me to shut up.
I was thinking the same thing. Like we could talk about whatever we want to talk about.
Yeah. You can switch channels, bro.
Yeah,
Easy.
if you don't like it, don't listen.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Everybody's
I haven't really been paying enough attention to the geopolitical climate to
well. I've
know to
been
have.
following it pretty close, and
I think Donald Trump is an addy. I think Donald Trump is an addy. And the
I think he's
Iranians are
enhanced.
cheating.
I think he's enhanced. Have you seen his hair? That's dyed for sure.
Uh,
I mean,
all right.
the real president that was enhanced was Biden. They were keeping that guy's heart pumping. Remember when he was he'd be on interviews and he'd be doing good and then he would just crash out.
the doctor just the doctor just pled the fifth all the time on
Yeah.
everything.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he was asked if he was told to shut up about it, and he said, "I pled the fifth,"
Oh,
which
shoot.
means actually, I think I think
Self-incrimination. He doesn't want to self-incriminate.
yeah, but I think he's actually more of a victim than a doer because he wasn't. It was definitely not the doctor's idea to shut up. I think it was probably someone else who told the doctor, "What? Wait, we're gonna probably kill your whole family and more if you're saying something."
Yeah, I mean, he probably
now,
I'd be scared of the CIA for sure.
But I think they're just gonna make him now the doer. They take all the blame, and he has to go to prison. I think that's and all the people that actually did everything, like, really big victim now. But
what is there any other bodybuilding news that I missed? I haven't really been keeping up.
Not another thing we haven't talked about recently. Yeah. I mean, Rubio Mascara qualified for the Olympia. I don't know if that's big news.
But he won like fair and square. I think also the last show. I think he looked better. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he'll. I think he'll be impressive.
Right? I said he can beat Nathan. I said he can beat Nathan if he gets in better conditioning, and he actually got in a little better conditioning and beat him.
Yeah, you were right. He did.
Yeah. But I could have been wrong anyways. Like, who knows? Sometimes it happens with Regan. It happened. He won a show, and then he came in a little worse because he already won one. So then sometimes people are like, instead of doing more to look better, they're like kind of relaxing too much because they already won one. So it's psychology.
Do you got any clients that are doing USAs?
I have two.
I had one that pulled out.
No, I have two going to the LA next week, and both going to USAs. And
what divisions?
Bodybuilding.
One guy is at the LA. It's weird. Everything over 176 is a heavyweight.
They only everything together. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think that's kind of bullshit. But so. One of my guys would be a light heavy at the USA, and the other guy's a heavyweight.
Is it in Vegas again this year?
Yeah, but they're both going to be doing heavyweight at the LA.
They had it in like Anaheim last year. Did they move it back to Vegas?
I thought it's in Vegas. Was just the Masters, wasn't there? Just the Masters.
No, I think
it was last year. It was open regular.
Was it Anaheim last year? The regular USAs?
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah, that's right. I saw Eric Janicki. He made it. He got his pro card. Janicki, Eric.
Yeah, finally.
Yeah, he deserved it, man. He was. He's good. He's like.
He doesn't have much time, but I told him 100 times, come out to pose. Let's. I'm like, this pose is still not good.
Yeah, his pose is
not. Your lat's not out, and he's like, yeah, I got my posing guy, and like his lat's not out. I'm like, don't know.
You're not. No, you're not.
No. And then like the show's over, he's like, yeah, my lats.
Yeah. No, he's got a really great physique. He's freaking enormous. Yeah. I mean, his structure isn't super great, but I mean, he's got enough to be a pro at least. And like you said, I think his posing is just ass. His training is great, but his posing is ass.
He looks like a superhero somehow. Like his legs are so huge.
They're so
and they're so long.
I trained legs with him. There's a video on his YouTube channel, and he does these like ultra high volume, ultra slow. Like we'll do the leg press we started with. We did like it was super wide, and then you just like stretch for like a 20 count, and then you like 1 rep. And then like 1 rep and then 1 rep. And then we did like that. And then we did the pendulum, and then we did leg extensions, and it was like kind of high-ish volume, but the time under tension was just wild on it. And I mean, maybe because it was novel, but my legs were just like destroyed after. And then the soreness was insane. But I never train adductors that hard.
Yeah, I trained with him too at Gold's Legs. That was before our first podcast. We trained legs, and before our last one, we trained chest, shoulder, triceps.
Yeah.
So next time we have to train back.
Yeah, I've trained. Have I trained back? I've trained back with him at that Young LA gym.
But I think back doesn't respond that much to the loaded stretch theory. So I think that's where he's like a little bit off, like going like
Yeah.
reaching. Like, come on, bro. That you could have done 3 reps in that time. I think that would have done more. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah. I mean, like, I don't know. I was interested in just trying it because, I mean, obviously, whatever he's doing is working for him. He's fucking enormous. And I think with that, maybe a little
His
bit with
training
that,
is awesome.
yeah.
It's really good.
I think in a way what that comes down to is, you know, when you take gear, all you really have to do is just like move the weight in some way. I mean, there's definitely some variability to it, but like just eat and move the weight consistently over time.
Then my gear doesn't work.
And you'll get there. But people are talking in the comments about Rubio. Let's what do you guys think about him at the Olympia? Like that dude is crazy. He like lacks myostatin or something. Like is he gonna stack up well, or is his structure gonna be a little bit too unique for it to be up there?
I think his legs are way overpowering his upper body. Even though his upper body is freaky, his legs are so damn big. Big.
Everything's so big on him, man. It's like he's like
I know.
He's like a Frankenstein bodybuilder. It's like different body parts. He's fun to look at.
They're almost too big.
He's fun to look at, but his flow is like it seems a little bit weird to me.
And he's actually posing really well. I think really just the back shots he's posing a little weirdly.
Yeah.
Like the leg placing is a little weird.
You think maybe like the middle of the second call out is where he'll land, or what do you guys think?
Yeah. Something like that. I mean, he can get in even better shape. We'll see what happens then.
His conditioning was pretty good. I mean, he was pretty shredded, I thought.
It's probably that his legs are just pumped up from walking so much that he can't get the detail. It could be. Like
I think his legs are bigger than my waist. Like
he might need a wheelchair.
And Ramy's legs are bigger than my waist too. Ramy's got massive legs.
I would probably ask for a wheelchair or something where I can put my legs up like a lion wheelchair, so his legs get no pump, and then he gets go on stage and have striations and like deep cuts, because he could be like he could be so pumped that you don't see it. It's crazy with his legs. I don't know.
Yeah.
No one knows how it is. No one can tell you besides him. It's kind of funny.
I think it'll be interesting to just see him standing next to the other guys, just how big he is.
Yeah.
I think like I want to see him stand next to Nick Walker and see how big Nick looks next to him.
Well, I think he's a little bit taller. I think he's a little taller than Nick. I think he's like maybe up almost 6 foot.
Right.
And he's like 5'10", I think, and Nick is like what, 5'8"?
Nick is a little shorter than that. He's probably 5'7" on a good day.
Well, yeah, he will definitely look bigger than Nick. Definitely.
Yeah. Well, I think he's heavy too. I think he's probably up around the 300 range at least.
They said 288.
288. So 5'10", 288. That's a big boy. When you're peeled down like that, that's a big boy.
Yeah. Crazy dude.
All right. We're going over the 2-hour mark. So
yeah.
I think it's a good show. Let's wrap it. And anything, last things you guys want to promote or anything?
Hit me up on Instagram if you guys want some coaching.
Yeah.
Also, just so for people that, so we have HD Muscle was out of the liver product and some proteins, and I just got a big order, and it just got cleared customs. So I'm hoping I get it, the next few days.
And guys, Larry has some DHB for you.
I don't like that stuff.
We talked about it last week.
Is that an inside joke I'm not aware of?
Yeah. It's all good. Watch the last week's episode.
All right.
All right, guys.
All right.
Have a good one.
Thanks, guys.
Take care, guys. I'll talk about Victor Richards another time.
All right.
I believe that the fires we're cast upon, on the flames we shall become. I believe in a common cause.